Welcome to Sailwind, a chill, relaxing early access game about being a merchant on the high seas. But today we will be neither chilling nor trading any goods, because today we are racing a grand tour of every island and port that I'm aware of, and I think I know them all. If you couldn't guess, this challenge was inspired by ICU's Firefish Globe. There, ICU sailed from Firefish Town around every major region and back again, though today we will be making things considerably more difficult. Let's list the conditions for this race. You may start at any port and return to it. You may pass through the checkpoints for each location in any order desired, but must catch them all. Minor spoilers for the game ahead. Checkpoints are at the Al-Ankh region, within mooring range of the dock, or close enough, of the docks of Neverden, Al-Nalem, Al-Ankh Academy, within either mooring range of the dock, or loop the island if you're in the very large ship the Jong, at Albacore Town, between the outer rocks / sandbar and the port at Gold Rock City, loop the Isle of Clear Mine and Lion's Fang, between the islands that form Alchemist Island and Oasis, and for our first spoiler location, Aelan Island, a secret location northwest of Gold Rock City or west of Oasis. Loop or get within mooring range regardless of ship size. Now for the Eastern region checkpoints. Within mooring range of the ports of Eastwind and Mont Malefic, in between the islands that form Siren Song and Sunspire, through the cave at Firefly Grotto, between the dock and the outer rocks at the ports of Fey Valley and Fort Aestrin, through the inner loop at Aestra Abbey, Loop Oracle, and for our second spoiler location, Bone Isle, an island northwest of Eastwind inhabited by a lone ghostly lightkeeper. You have to loop that island. Then Happy Bay, which is of course sail between the islands where the dock is, and for our third spoiler location, the Rock of Despair, about a degree east of Happy Bay, which you must loop as there is no dock. Now for the Emerald Archipelago checkpoints. These are pretty simple. Mooring range of Newport, Sanctuary, Crab Beach, Sage Hills, Pottery Peak, and Turtle Island. Between the islands that form Serpent Isle, and within mooring range or loop at your discretion, Dead Cove. And finally for Dragon Cliffs itself, the capital, in one entrance and out the other, or in one entrance, loop the center island, and then out that entrance. Now, the semi-secret region of Firefish Lagoon. It's not on the main map, but you get missions there right from the start of the game. It's just south-southwest of Emerald Archipelago. Within mooring range of Firefish Town, Senna, and Onna. And for Kisia Bay, you get your choice of either going into mooring range, or you can sail between the town and the sandbar. Lastly, there's the secret location, the Island of Kronos, far, far to the east, and you can either loop it or get into mooring range at your discretion. In addition, I've added some challenges to make the race more difficult. First up is Nocturnal Navigator. The only permitted navigational tools will be the quadrant, chronometer, compass, and chip log. No using the chrono compass or sun compass. Second up is Small Boat, Big Ocean. Complete the challenge in one of the small boats. The Cog, the Dow, or the Kakam. You can modify them if you want. Lastly is Spare the Superstitions. No using either the weather totems or the Kisia Bay Shrine. In general, anything supernatural is off limits. Now I want to take you through some of the planning I did for this mission. For starters, I had needed to choose a hull to use. And the most obvious choice is the same one that ICU made, the Junk, but I don't technically think it's a real junk hull. It's the fastest hull in the game. Next up would be to pick the sail plan, where I have to either pick square sails or fore and aft sails. The advantage of square sails being able to pack a lot of sail onto a ship and get great downwind speeds. However, beating against the wind poses significant challenges. Fore and aft rigs give much better upwind angles and speeds and are generally easier to operate. I had considered using the bark, a modified brig hull in order to complete this race, as its downwind sailing capacity, given its square rig, is very, very good. However, tight maneuvers around islands would be prohibitively difficult. Square rigs are generally more maneuverable, but require teams of sailors to operate, and I can't be at the helm and setting all 15 sails that ship has at the same time. A simple rig is necessary. So in the name of simplicity, we are going with a fore and aft rigged ship. Unfortunately, in simplifying the design of the junk in order to meet the needs of this race, I had put a single apron lateen, which is aka a big triangle, and some jibs on the ship. I had produced almost a carbon copy of ICU's ship, which consisted of a fin sail, which is basically a batten lateen, and some jibs, albeit with some slight improvements, at least in my opinion. I wanted to do something original for this race. My attempts to convert the junk into either a schooner or a yawl configuration were getting nowhere. I was only getting 55 to 65 degrees of movement out of each side for the gaff rig sails, and as most of this race will be downwind, having wide angles to sweep the fore and aft rig sails is an absolute must in order to catch the wind as we are headed downwind. Then I thought, why not try one of the starter boats for extra show-off effect? These boats are not really designed for open ocean journeys, and doing this challenge in one of them would be a real feat. Thus, I was left with 3 choices to modify and re-rig. First up is the Kaka, Emerald Archipelago's starter boat. By default, it's in a quasi-ketch configuration with a large junk, aka a batten lug sail, on the front mainmast and a smaller one on the mizzenmast. Its main advantage is that it has high gun walls in order to limit water intrusion on the high seas. Its downside is that it would need significant modifications, which would remove the hammock and make me put a bed on the floor. And the floor space is really valuable because our main limitation as far as cargo is concerned is volumetric. We're not lugging around tons of gold. We need to pack on a lot of food and water, which is comparatively less dense. And it has similar stage to the junk, which would likely pose similar issues. Next up is the Dhow, which is Al Ank's starter boat. It has, by default, a single lateen sail and is generally very easy to operate. It's, in fact, the boat you get if you pick the easy option. Its advantage is it has optimal mast placement for the rig I want to use. Its downsides, however, are killer. It's very slow in the default configuration, and frankly in most others too. And in spite of having moderately high gun walls, it has pretty bad form stability and presents a pretty serious risk of taking on water owing to its small size, in fact the smallest boat, on the big ocean. Lastly, it has a pretty killer downside, which is its limited cargo capacity. It's got very little floor space, and I'm not convinced I can pack enough food and water to make it back from Kronos. Last up is the Cog, Aestrin's starter boat. By default, it comes with a high castle, square rig, and a jib sail. Its advantages are pretty significant. It's got a lot of volumetric space, a lot of floor space for a lot of provisions, which means getting enough provisions to go to and from Kronos will not be a problem. Its downsides, however, are pretty significant. It has very low gun walls, the lowest in the game, in fact, which present the very large risk of taking on water in high seas. And it's got suboptimal mast configurations for my desired sail plan. It also has pretty limited weight capacity, but that's not an issue because we're not really weight limited on this journey. Now to present my final option. I went with the Cog, which I've re-rigged here as the Scarlet Sloop. In general, sloops are single-masted boats with fore and aft rigs. Here we have a gaff-rigged sloop, like many of the racing yachts of the early 20th century. Now ideally, a sloop would have a mast placed slightly ahead of the center of mass, but that's not what we have here. Instead, owing to the limited options for placing masts on the Cog, we have our mast on the center of mass. Consequently, we're going to need some pretty beefy jibs in order to counterbalance that big gaff sail. Actually, between the two jibs that we have more sail in the jibs than we do in the mainsail. The other complication is the high castle needed to go. Frankly, it's not that useful because it's placed so high up. Placing any significant amount of cargo there would just lead to capsizing, so it just had to go. Now, to decide on a racing route, note that this route is provisional, and if the winds aren't cooperating, I might decide to switch up the order of some of the islands I visit. I'm going to start here in Kesia Bay and Firefish Lagoon, and winds here generally come from the east-northeast. We will be going the opposite direction as ICU, taking advantage of the winds the entire way. We will sail around the archipelago, west and then north to visit Senna and Onna, and then we'll head west-northwest to the Alank region. We will catch up on Firefish Town at the end of the race. When we reach Alank, winds generally are pretty stable and come from the southwest. Provisional route is as follows: Albacore Town, Alchemist Island, Lion's Fang, Neverdin, Isle of Clear Mine, Al Nalem, Gold Rock City, and then the Academy. Now we are left with a choice. The safe choice would be to sail straight to Oasis instead of Elnan Island, but we're going to go in the opposite order. The issue is, Elnan Island is really hard to reach. That is, without some tricks that I have stuffed up my sleeve. In general, you have to dead reckon your way there, because it's not near any landmarks, and the tools that the game provides to you for navigation are not precise enough to get within visual range of Elnan Island reliably. That is, without some tricks. And doing this dead reckoning is much easier from the much nearer Oasis than it is from Gold Rock City or Alank Academy. From here, we will be headed downwind all the way to the eastern region. Prevailing winds here come from the west-southwest, so we will be starting at Bone Isle, followed by Eastwind, Siren Song, Oracle, Aestra Abbey, Fort Aestrin, Firefly Grotto, Fey Valley, Sunspire, and Mont Malefique, though that order may need to be shifted up because, well, the winds in Aestrin are pretty erratic. Then we have a pretty short ocean journey all the way over to Happy Bay, followed by the second longest stretch without reprovisioning we have in this entire race, stopping by the Rock of Despair and then off to Kronos. There, we will certainly need to reprovision, and then it's off for the longest stretch. We will need to head at least 8 degrees to the south to reach the realm of the Emerald Archipelago trade winds, and then west over nearly 17 degrees of ocean all the way to the Emerald Archipelago. There, our provisional route will be Sanctuary, Newport, Crab Beach, Turtle Island, Pondering Peak, Dragon Cliffs, Serpent Isle, Dead Cove, and Sage Hills, as the prevailing winds generally come from the east-northeast. Lastly, we will have a short ocean journey. We will return to Firefish Lagoon and visit Firefish Town, followed by returning to Kesia Bay and completing the race. Off to the race! Race starts at 8. Wind coming from the south. Oh, I should probably grab one of these before I go. There we go. Here's some left sheet. wind shifts on you. Not again. These in a bit. Rounding the sandbank and bank. Couldn't tell, this is the live section as opposed to the pre-recorded section. There's Senna, but you can't go there directly because it's directly upwind. There's Ona over there. We'll be tacking across the wind in a second to go this way. Right, that's good. Right over. Now we gotta sort out our balance. Like that. Fine for now. God, we're gonna have to turn here in a moment. Yeah, we need to turn out. Over. Make the force here in a second. Ready to get back to the wheel. Loosen these up. Bring in this one to simplify our logistics here for this turn. I'll let that one out. I'll let this one out too. And checkpoint 1. that mainsail jibe, so I'm gonna be in trouble for a bit. My wheel's gonna peel over. If you're wondering why we can't get any wind on that jib sail, we're basically traveling at wind speed. Well, there isn't enough wind to physically lift the sail. I'll let this sail. If that one works. That one does work because it's on less of an angle, so it's not as heavy. I would appreciate, yep, I would appreciate it on the other side. Not the wind shadow. Stay over there and jib, and outer jib now. Provide some balance. Perfectly balanced steering, right there. Oh, the wind's turning on us, so... do need to get to Ona before sundown, because I don't want to do the Ona drive-by in the dark. One moment, I gotta pause it. And I'm back. And checkpoint get. Right, now we turn west-northwest and take off to Allah. Alright, everything's balanced. Now, it's time to hit the virtual hay. Actually, before we do that, I've got a mod here that allows me to put fishing rods on hooks, but I just got the mod, so we don't have the hooks. because I figured I was going to pick them up in Kesia Bay, but Kesia Bay doesn't sell them. So we're going to put the lanterns on the floor temporarily until we get to a spot where we can buy hooks when we're reprovisioning. Out you go. 1. Out you go. 2. And out you go. 3. Light out. And, well, actually, no, we need a balance. Yeah. We need balance. Still not balanced. We need access to that in case of emergency. There we go. That. And we'll loosen up on these. This one too. Oh, we've already caught a fish. That's 2 loose. Got 2 fish. Okay, and hey. Sailing away, I'll sing a fine tune, as I say farewell to the lagoon, and soon I'll be far out at sea, and won't be seeing land soon. And we're back. Temple fish. That one's almost cooked. I know that one requires 3, so we're just going to put a 3rd one on now. Ooh. Wind is shifted. Turn that in. Oh no, the wind is really shifted. We're now going north. Yeah, we need to tack. The wind's not going north. The wind's probably coming from the... Wind's coming from the exact direction we need to go. So, I guess we just close call. The best way. This is close haul. Problem with close haul is it feels too much. I'm going to bring in the energy. Okay, actually, I think we're going to need to pack. Yep, here we go. As we're packing, move baluster. We're not at all. Get out of here. You want that tall there precisely as reason. Switch. We're attacking place there. We're over. Alright, west northwest. Really making that much forward movement though. I think I'm gonna go due west. Always go due west. Right, we need it. Water? Water. Oh, damn. Out you go. And for some reason it's still attached up here. We're headed westward. I'd like to head loosen up on let's stay. Head west northwest. That's fine actually. West by north is also okay. No, it's in a little drop that. Actually, loosen up there. We are in very good sailing condition. These are like near optimal sailing conditions. Quite sure I'm hungry yet. We will be catching more food. As virtually all my reserve food is salted. There we go. Bye-bye to this. Oh, right, we don't need Firefish Lagoon's map until the end of the race. I believe this one is my ocean map. It is. Yeah, so we are right here. It's like 328. We're like right here on the map. Let's see my cursor. And we gotta go all the way up to Gold Rock City, which is west northwest. And the prevailing winds come from the east-northeast. So it's almost straight downwind the whole way. Pretty much optimal sailing conditions. There we go. It's cooked perfectly. There's a lot of healing. I'll loosen up on that. The amount of forward propulsion we can make is pretty much limited by healing. How much can we afford to do that till we, get dipped in the drain? Not limited by sail area. So in order to pass the time on the open ocean, I will be editing it for you guys, but you're going to make Boris Yeltsin seem sober, because that makes you sleep longer, and tired faster as well. I believe the sleeping longer is a mod, but tired faster is vanilla. Well, we're almost at Millinede time. So we can get a longitude measurement, though I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be like 2 degrees east. Oh gosh. We're not... I can't quite... There's the star in here. Measure at 7 o'clock precisely. Except for it's behind the sail, so get it. I'll try to get it slightly after and do some calculations. Got it. We're about 1 degree out. Yep, so that's about 2 degrees. And that one is going to be like 29. That's the North Star there. Yeah, like 29 degrees. If you want me to do a tutorial on getting your location using only the quadrant, feel free to ask. Oh, the quadrant and the chronometer. Might need to do course corrections, so let's not try to sleep too long. Ah, full moon. Where to that come out at this time? I'd like to thank everyone for sticking around to the end of this video. Please like and comment, and hopefully I'll make another one next week. Goodbye.